1. Fenrir is prophesied by a dream to likely kill Odin. So let's imprison him and boom, hands clean, all good. Wait, I have a new prophecy for you that is based on the real world. In states where there is a higher percentage of black population, violent crimes are more common. So this is a real statistic. It uses the knowledge of criminology. They are likely to tell us that black people are just likelier to do crimes as they have the gang culture, they have traits that show common behaviors of crime, and they have bad intent more often than not, as a lot of these black people are connected to other black people that have criminal tendencies, so they themselves are likely to be criminal themselves. So should it be the perfect solution be arresting those black people who are risky before they do crimes? Or, at the very least, we are going to observe these individuals because they are just likely to do the crimes. And if we see this criminal intent to be found, well then, bravo, Google the bush, we have stopped the crime and everyone's happy. This is me applying. So let's try to observe then what happens. Oh, he searches for things that are like growing weeds. He's searching up guns and other stuff because he thinks it's cool. I'm now following step by step everything that Prime Minister said. So let's arrest him. Let's put high surveillance on him. And boom, wow, it's a 17-year-old black teenager. He was likely to be a criminal anyway, so good riddance. We're so happy. Is this the world that we actually want to live in? Fenrir had zero other options when we immediately saw him as guilty. I think we need to understand that when you keep treating people as guilty, telling them that they are likely to be guilty, telling them that they will end up as a criminal, murderer, or thief, they are just likely to be like that, a self-fulfilling prophecy that my partner keeps telling you. If you are treated like you have done a crime before you do it, you have very little opportunities to prove you are good. So they don't get other options anymore, as they are more easily arrested even if they are good, or they are treated like a criminal by others in society or by the cops through high surveillance, looked down upon or feared as other people think that way, and less trusted in credit, in job opportunities, or anything that is needed to be succeeded. Let's not let them rent the house because this is where they are. This is why PM is dead in the water. His entire mechanism was built and likely to leave precedents for discrimination and unfair arrest when applied in the real world. And you know what's the irony of the government case line? A lot of the problem that exists in status quo comes as a result of preemptive actions going wrong in the past. Why is gang violence such a prevalent issue? Why are cartels and status quo such prevalent? Why are murderers so common that side governments seem to only target in this debate commit murders? There's one clear answer. It's because the state in the past has already fucked up. They have already targeted these people. They have already justified the action to reasonable data to kill and imprison the leaders who make up those crimes. The failure of government beds to acknowledge that makes them lose this round. So makes them lose this round. So let's be extra charitable. Let's assume that they are correct and that this is 100% effectiveness. Let's say current criminology now has perfect prediction chance to assess whether you're a murderer or not. The entire mechanism fails. Assuming this is true, there is no more necessity for due process and criminal courts because now there is no possibilities for lawyers to argue for cases that this technology gov assumes to be effective work out. Second, you now have police thought and action to be widespread in scale. Now that you don't even need to commit a crime to be arrested is the point where the state now has disproportionate power to use against you. But third, to be the most charitable as possible, if this really is the only weird and challenged individual, and only those weird and challenged individuals that kill small animals when they were children, you are now likely to force them to be a criminal for the rest of their lives. No rehabilitation, no anything, no second chances of kindness or any sort of thing, as you automatically brand them as evil. The fatal flaw of government side is they lean too much on their own capacities. Let's vibe check. How many times did the police get it wrong? How many times victims of police brutality we had over the past decades? How many have been falsely incarcerated from among the youth and minorities? The answer is a lot. We understand Gov case was worried about the potential, but that is all it is. Even if we assume direct correlation, and they are absolutely correct and can predict future action based on past intention, there's just far too much damage to the majority in order to mitigate the minority to commit the crime. Proposition is extremely dismissive of our responses and competing analysis. They glibly say, oh, all good, you can just go back into society, but gang, as what Donald Trump says, sounds good doesn't work. This is why we need laws, due processes, trials, investigations, and etc. We consistently tell you that the end does not justify the means. These are separate things. Panel, if you do not believe anything opposition says, just fact check it. What is the quality of life in society if we run government's model? The answer is simple. It is mutually assured destruction, chaos, and anarchy. People live in fear and are afraid of the police and government. So what was the first exchange and how did my parcel in? What happened? Joseph told us that the end does not justify the means, undermines the criminal justice system, and even if it's effective, we still reject this utilitarian metric of people. It puts a precedence for genocide, precedence and excuse for unfair trials and arresting, all those negative stuff. And they just respond by telling us, telltale signs of a serial killer. We have it. They're high charisma. They did weird things as a kid, has a weird history. I'll give you telltale signs for a terrorist. They're Arabic, Muslim. As a kid, they will die for Allah. I'll give you telltale signs for a school shooter. Lonely child in school, has a heavy interest in guns, quiet and doesn't talk. Who decides these telltale signs? What I said is an unfair metric, but what makes anyone's metric actually better? Why is the state arresting people who they see as threats? Okay, I'll take your POI before 6. Go.
Would you not, as an employer, want to know if your future employee has had predatory behavior in the past? And would you want to still...
problem, guys. If you tell me that a black person over there is higher likely to be in a crime rate, to be a criminal later on, what's gonna happen? That black person does not get a job opportunity anymore, which leads them into worse places in life, ladies and gentlemen. And this is why they are trapped in the, when you tell them that their idea as they are likely to be a criminal, they will be trapped in that idea, and that is their only option. Then that's why the free rent person can't do anything else but get revenge because he was trapped his entire life. This is how we win our first exchange, because we tell you that we shouldn't be just, the idea of just telling them, be more cautious about these people, yeah, it leads to the harms of ostracizing these people, making them feel that their only option is that, and we create the villain that we are trying to prevent, as my partner said. This is how Jaron won the second exchange. They broke that idea by telling us how it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, how society ought to be built on innocent till proven guilty and not guilty till proven innocent. And ladies and gentlemen, if you actually don't want mass discrimination, if you want to protect the majority of people, side with opposition. Thank you.